into oil exploration. First, I would like to point out some of the points that Kelly made. The claim that 700,000 jobs, or a number thereabout, according to Time magazine and Waller Douglas, as for the 700,000 jobs, that number comes from an 11-year-old study commissioned by the American Petroleum Institute that economists complain widely inflates the employment potential. The real number should be around 10% of that. She also said that cities support it. However, according to the Arctic National Wildlife Reserve or Refuge, Arctic Village is a place where the native Gowitch Indians feel their traditional ways of life are threatened by oil. There will be no more Gowitch Indians if that happens. It will be like wiping us off the face of the earth, said Fanny Tritt, a resident of the Arctic Village. So even though the city supported, the people that actually live in there, the native Indians, do not support it at all. I have two main claims, and they are oil exploration in Anwr would have a negative effect on the environment, and oil exploration in Anwr would not have a beneficial effect in the U.S. economy. First, I'd like to have a definition explained. Eskimo, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, it is a member of a group of people of northern Canada, Greenland, Alaska, and eastern Siberia. Okay, with my first main claim, oil exploration in Anwr would have a negative effect on the environment. Anwr is the true last wilderness. According to the National Wildlife Refuge, oil produced from the Arctic Refuge would come at a numerous and irreversible cost. The refuge is among the world's last true wilderness, and it is one of the largest sanctuaries of Arctic animals. Traversed by a dozen rivers and framed by jagged peaks, this spectacular wilderness is a vital birthing ground for polar bear, grizzlies, Arctic wolves, caribou, and the endangered shaggy musk ox, a mammoth-like survivor of the last ice age. All those animals live there right now and could be destroyed in the process of drilling for oil. The shelf and the waters also support a lot of mammals. According to the Defenders of Wildlife, the nearby continental shelf provides the coastal waters with a rich nutritional base, which in turn supports a variety of marine mammals, including the endangered bowhead whale. So the waters are also filled with a lot of endangered animals and other animals that could be easily killed. The drilling that is proposed is in the most sensitive area and will impact all of Anwr. According to the Defenders of Wildlife, the proposed oil and gas development will occur on the 1.5 million acre coastal plain found along the Beaufort Sea. This area is the most sensitive in the entire refuge, and habitat loss occurs here will impact the entire Arctic refuge. Not only will all that happen, but noises from the drilling, not only just oil spills, will affect the animals. According to Defenders of Wildlife, noises from industrial activity, seismic work, drilling, etc., affect marine mammal navigation, social interactions, prey capture, and predator avoidance. Offshore seismic oil exploration and well drilling have already caused significant disturbance to migrating bowhead whales and have altered the disturbance of rigid seals. Specifically, seismic exploration noise was found to cause whales to deflect from their normal migrating path and avoid these activities by 20 to 30 kilometers or more. This in turn impacts the Eskimo people trying to hunt bowhead whales in the northern Alaska, and this is one of the main reasons why they're opposed to offshore oil and gas exploration and development. So all this noise will make the seals go farther away, and it will be a lot harder for them to hunt for their own survival, because they don't have the ability to go to stores and just buy food. They have to hunt for theirs. Oil spills are extra dangerous in this cold weather up in Alaska. According to the Marine Mammals and Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, Should oil or toxic spills occur near the sea, they can be particularly harmful because oil remains toxic for longer periods in the cold waters. Oil spills remain toxic longer and are more difficult, perhaps impossible, to clean up because it gets trapped in the ice and takes longer to break down in cold temperatures. Moreover, concentrates in open water in the sea ice and breathing holes where animals surface and conglomerate. There's also been previous kind of examples of humans destroying parts of the refuge because in turn they would. According to the National Resource Defense Council, for a sense of what a big oil's heavy machinery will do to the refuge, just look 60 miles west to Prudhoe Bay and a Gartine oil complex that has turned 1,000 square miles of fragile tundra into a sprawling industrial zone containing 1,500 miles of roads and pipelines, 1,400 producing wells, and 3 jet ports. The result of this is a landscape defaced by mountains of sewage, sludge, scrap metal, garbage, and more than 60 contaminated waste sites that contain and often leak acids, lead, pesticides, solvents, and diesel fuel. And animals are very likely to pick up this, and it can also seep into the snow and drain off. I'd like to go to my second main claim. Oil exploration in Anwr would not have a beneficial effect on the U.S. economy. The Arctic National Wildlife Refuge says that although drilling proposes often says there's 16 billion barrels of oil under the refuge's coastal plain, the U.S. Geological Service estimates the amount that could be recovered economically, that is, the amount likely to be profitable and sold represents less than a year's of the U.S. supply. The oil industry is also right now sitting on unused permits while they're telling you they need more. They don't really need to drill in there. They already have a whole bunch of areas that they can drill. The Defenders of Wildlife says the oil industry has many leases that have not even started to develop. In fact, the industry has thousands of permits to drill on 68 million acres of land or coastline, but they are not using to increase domestic production. Okay, in conclusion, I'd like to restate my claim that Alaskan National Wilderness, or the Arctic and National Wilderness Reserve should not be open to oil exploration.